Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Dijonae Jàyñae
Educational channel.
And of course, if you're new to this channel, I am Deborah K. I am Dijonae's mom. And of course, I am sitting in with your beautiful host.
Dijonae Jàyñae, and you are on Dijonae Jàyñae's educational channel.
Okay, as you know, today is
Friday.
and we're on.
Read aloud Friday.
All right, so welcome to Read Aloud Friday. What is Read Aloud Friday? Read Aloud Friday is basically the day that persons are given the opportunity to,
come on screen and read their story.
and of course, share it with all the wonderful persons who tune into Dijonae Jàyñae Educational Channel. All right, so we're not gonna wait. We're gonna go right into tonight's activity, and we're gonna go ahead and share the stories that we have prepared for you guys. All right. So to all the wonderful persons that are in the chat, mega welcome to you. To all the wonderful persons who will come on this replay, mega welcome to you. All right. Remember now, I am Deborah K, sitting in with your beautiful host.
Dijonae Jàyñae, and you are on Dijonae Jàyñae's educational channel.
All right. So we're gonna go right ahead and we're gonna start this stories. All right. So let me see who we have in the chat. We have, of course, we have the Dynamic Lady Girls, and of course, guys, feel free to go support them. All right. They are one of the Janice member, and of course, guys, they are awesome. They are awesome. All right. So, what is the first story we have for you guys tonight? We have
Cinderella, the Lost Mice.
the Cinderella, the
Lost Mice.
all right. And of course, your girl Dijonae is going to take it over. All right. So, please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alright. Cinderella, the Lost Mice. One clear winter night, the prince led Cinderella out to the balcony. I have a surprise for you, he said, handing her a box. Inside was a beautiful new coat. Oh, it's simply lovely, Cinderella exclaimed. Thank you. It was a pretty and thoughtful gift. The coat would keep her warm during the cold weather. The next morning, the princess showed her coat to Susie, one of her mouse friends. Isn't the prince thoughtful? Cinderella remarked. Nice-a, nice-a, Susie exclaimed. The coat sleeve felt warm and cozy, especially compared to where the mice lived.
And of course, this is a picture of what Dijonae is reading. Here it is. This is a picture that is highlighting what she's basically reading for you.
Yes. A few minutes later, Jack and Gus went into Cinderella's room. It had been a chilly night in the attic, and the mice were still shivering. Cinderella, Cinderella, Jack called. He knew that if he told the princess how cold the attic was, she would do something about it. But she was rushing off to get dressed for a tea party, so she didn't hear her friend.
So this is a picture of them rushing off.
Yes.
All right. I hope you can see them.
Jack sighed. It was too cold for the mice to stay in the attic much longer. Cinderella had always been very kind to the mice, and Jack was sure she would want them to be warm. So he and Gus called the rest of the mice down from the attic. They sat in front of a blazing fire in Cinderella's room. Before long, their cold paws and tails had warmed up, and their teeth stopped chattering. They'd wait there until their Cinderella got back. Soon, the new housekeeper came in to clean the room. When she saw the mice, she shrieked and shooed them away. Mice don't belong in the castle, she yelled. Now get out. The housekeeper didn't know that the mice were Cinderella's friends. She chased them with a broom. The frightened mice had no choice but to scramble back up to the cold attic. Brr! Dust began to shimmer as soon as the mice were safely upstairs. The mice really needed the princess's help, but how would they be able to speak to Cinderella when they were afraid to set foot downstairs? Wham! Suddenly, the castle gardener barged through the attic door. Before the mice knew what was happening, he had trapped them. Now take them outside, they heard the housekeeper say. Take them far away so they never return.
And this is what is happening in this story.
Yes. Meanwhile, Cinderella's tea party had ended, and she and the prince were out riding. As their horses trotted through the countryside, they saw the castle gardener tending to something in one of the fields. Hello, the prince called out. It's too much cold to be working outside. But the gardener did not answer. The prince called to him again and still got no reply. As they rode on, the prince turned to Cinderella. That was odd, he said. I can't believe he did not hear me. Why wouldn't he answer? Perhaps he was lost in thought, Cinderella replied. Cinderella was right. The gardener had been trying to make a decision. He was about to let the mice go as the housekeeper had ordered, but he was worried about them. He knew it was too cold outside. Finally, he decided to take the mice to the stables. Now don't tell the housekeeper, he told the stable workers, but these poor mice need a warm place to stay and a bite to eat. The mice were very grateful to their new friends. The mice nestled together in the barn, but as night approached, the stables got colder. Luckily, the horses were very friendly. They told the mice to snuggle in their manes to keep warm. Tasa, Nisa, as he drifted off to sleep.
And look at them.
Later that night, back at the castle, Cinderella was starting to worry. She hadn't seen the mice since that morning. Jack and Gus nearly always came by in the evening. Cinderella was searching for the mice when she ran into the prince. Why, hello, the prince said. Are you looking for the same person I am? Why, no, I don't think so, Cinderella replied. I'm looking for the mice. Ah, said the prince. Well, I am looking for a new housekeeper. Apparently, she threw the mice out of the castle today. Oh no, Cinderella cried. Poor dears, they'll freeze outside. Don't worry, the prince said. The mice have found a new friend. He told Cinderella about what the gardener had done. That's Cinderella worrying. Together, Cinderella and the prince went to the stables. They thanked the gardener and the stable workers. Then they gently woke the mice. Cinderella! Cinderella! The mice shouted happily. Cinderella was relieved to see her little friend safe and sound. Though the stables had been nice, the mice were glad to return to the castle. From then on, Cinderella made sure the mice had always had a warm place of their own in one of the main rooms of the castle.
And look at them.
They look so happy. A few nights later, Cinderella and the prince threw a grand ball. The gardener was the guest of honor. By then, the housekeeper had been properly introduced to the mice, and all was well. As the guests swirled around the dance floor, the mice celebrated with a banquet of their own, warm and cozy at last. The end.
So that was the end of the first story that we did.
Yes.
And of course, the first story was about Cinderella the Lost Mouse, right?
Yes.
Or the Lost Mice, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, what we are doing now, we're on Read Aloud Friday, and of course, we're sharing story. So, of course, we have some wonderful persons that are in the chat that join us lately. We also have Lala, and Lala is saying wonderful story. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And we have K in the chat as well. Mega welcome to you all. Thank you so very much for supporting Dijonae Jàyñae Garden Educational Channel. Alright, so she's gonna share her second story that she has prepared for you all, and this is about the
Little Mermaid, a special song.
Alright, and of course, this is what we have there to start our story.
Yes. This is the Ariel's friend, the crab. His name is Sebastian. Alright, I'm going to start reading the story now. The Little Mermaid, a special song. May I have your attention, please? Sebastian called. The crab tapped his baton on the podium. King Triton's birthday was in a couple of days, and the court musicians were planning a special performance. Triton's daughter, Ariel, would sing while the orchestra played a brand new tune. Sebastian wanted the concert to be spectacular, but they still had a lot of work to do. This is him right there. The crab raised his baton, and the musicians began to play. Beautiful music filled the sea until clang! Who did that? Sebastian demanded. I did. A young mermaid named Coral replied quietly. The best way to play the cymbals is to hold on to them. Now, if there are no more interruptions, Sebastian said grumpily, let's continue. The rehearsal went from bad to worse. Coral dropped her cymbal a second time. Clang! Then she tripped and landed on top of a kettle drum. As Ariel watched, Sebastian threw down his baton. Rehearsal is over! The crab yelled and stormed off.
And this is what we're talking about.
He looked so mad. The young mermaid looks beautiful. Ariel helped Coral up. Don't mind Sebastian. I'll never be able to get this song right, let alone perfect. Coral said sadly. Don't worry about it, Ariel said. The only thing I'm perfect at is making Sebastian mad. You should have seen his face the last time I went to the circus. You went to the circus? Coral asked amazed. You must be the bravest mermaid ever. It's just something I like to do, Ariel said. I'm always gathering treasures. Would you like to see my collection? I'd love to, Coral exclaimed. The two mermaids swam to Ariel's grotto. Make yourself at home, Ariel told Coral when they arrived. Flounder the fish was there. He waved a fin at them. The young mermaid swam around, examining the jewelry and shiny trinkets. Where did you find all of this? Coral asked as she pulled on a strand of pearls. I found some of it in sunken ships, replied Ariel. You've been inside a sunken ship? Coral said with a gasp. Weren't you scared? Of course not. Were you, Flounder? Ariel teased. Nothing to it. The fish fibbed. So what are we waiting for? Ariel asked. Let's go. Coral and Flounder trailed behind Ariel. Soon they arrived at a ship that had sunk to the ocean floor. Let's see what's in there, Ariel urged. Her friends followed her through a large porthole. Inside the ship, Ariel found an old steamer trunk. Look at this, she cried, holding up a purple parasol. And this, Coral exclaimed, picking up a fancy lampshade. I wonder what it's for. My friend Scuttle can tell us, Ariel said. Follow me. Where are we going? Coral asked Flounder. To the surface, he replied matter-of-factly. They look so cute. Soon, the friends arrived at the surface. Scuttle the Seagull examined their treasures. That is a spoiler fur, he said, looking at Coral's lampshade. It's what human ladies wear when they're going somewhere important. Before long, the friends had to leave. As they headed home, Coral asked Ariel if she could keep the spoiler fur at the grotto. It might get broken at home, she explained. Of course, Ariel agreed. The grotto is my secret place, and it can be yours too. Her friend Scuttle is so funny. Her friend is so funny. A few days later, as Ariel swam toward the grotto, she heard someone singing. The voice was strong and clear, but sweet too. When Ariel arrived, she saw her new friend. Coral, I didn't know you had such a lovely voice. You should be singing in the concert, not playing the cymbals. The little blonde mermaid shrugged. I just like singing to myself, she explained. I've never actually performed. The next day at rehearsal, Sebastian made Ariel and the orchestra practice over and over, but sometimes always seemed to go wrong. The big day is tomorrow, the crowd said, fretting. This concert needs to be fit for a king, King Triton to be exact. Let's try it again. So they did. The rehearsal went on and on. By the end of the afternoon, everyone was tired. See you tomorrow, Ariel said. Her voice was raspy. On the day of the concert, Ariel could only whisper. She had lost her voice. Luckily, she knew someone who could take her place. Me? Coral said when the princess asked her. But I can't. You must, Sebastian insisted. Otherwise, King Triton's birthday celebration will be ruined. I can't sing in front of a crowd of mer people, Coral said, pleading. Sure you can, Flounder said. Coral thought about how she had visited a sunken ship and gone to the surface. Things she had never thought she could do, all because of Ariel. Now her new friend was counting on her. All right, Coral said slowly. I'll do it. Yay, Coral! That night, when Coral peeked out from backstage, she nearly fainted. The entire kingdom was there, including her parents and her brothers and sisters. King Triton and Ariel sat in the royal box. When it was time, Coral took a deep breath and swam on stage. As the orchestra started playing, she sang softly, but as she went on, Coral's voice got louder. Before she knew it, the concert was over, and the audience began to clap and cheer. Coral said to Sebastian, smiling, you can give away your cymbals. From now on, you're going to be a court singer. After the show, Ariel went to congratulate her friend. She phoned Coral with her family. I didn't know you could sing like that, one of Coral's sisters exclaimed. No one ever would have known if it wasn't for Ariel, replied Coral. She believed in me, and still couldn't speak, but she gave Coral a big hug. It has been a wonderful evening. The end.
So that was the end of that story.
Story.
So, mega welcome to all the persons who just joined us. And of course, we saw Mystic Sensation in the chat with us. So, mega welcome to you. And of course, I can see you guys in the chat. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for making it Dijonae Jàyñae Gordon Educational Channel. And of course, you guys are awesome. So we have our last story for tonight.
Last story.
And of course, Lala is saying awesome. She's also saying God's richest blessing to you both. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Lala.
very much, Lala. We're happy to have you guys with us. And of course, we're also seeing
We're also seeing Taisha K. Thank you, and she's saying thank you.
all right, so thank you so very much for coming. So we're going to be doing the last story, and the last story that we're going to be doing is called
The Princess and the Frog.
A Surprise Guest. All right, so that's the last one for tonight. And of course, Lala is saying bye. So thank you so very much, Lala, for stopping by. We appreciate your effort. All right, so we're going to do the last story for tonight.
Yes. It was a balmy afternoon in New Orleans, perfect for a night with friends. Charlotte, honey, Big Daddy LaBeouf called to his daughter. How about going to Tiana's palace for supper tonight? Oh, Daddy, that would be wonderful. Just give me a minute to change.
And this is her.
She looks so pretty. A little later, Big Daddy and Charlotte drove off. They didn't realize their dog, Stella, was asleep in the back of the car. When the LaBeoufs arrived at the restaurant, a jazz band was on stage. Louis, the alligator, was playing his trumpet. Charlotte, how are you? Princess Tiana exclaimed. She was happy to see her best friend. Big Daddy, would you like to sit with my mama and the bees' parents? Why, I can't think of anyone better to share my supper with than Edora and your in-laws, he replied. Soon, Tiana's family and friends were settled at a big table. The princess walked around the dining room to make sure her other guests were happy too. Meanwhile, Stella had woken up. The dog climbed out of the LaBeouf's car and looked around. Immediately, she caught the mouth-watering scent of Tiana's beignets. Stella followed her nose right into the restaurant kitchen. Looky here, shouted one of the cooks. We have a visitor. Here you go, puppy. Have some of this gumbo. It's a new recipe. Stella eagerly tasted the dish. It was delicious. A moment later, a waiter threw her a large bowl. The dog couldn't believe her good luck. Stella spent the whole evening in the kitchen, while Charlotte and Big Daddy dined into Louise's jazz music and talked with their friends. Stella was getting all kinds of treats. Late that night, after the jazz number had been played, all of the guests went home. Charlotte and Big Daddy never realized that Stella was also at the restaurant. Ta-ta! Charlotte called as they left. Nora left with Naveen's parents. Turning to her daughter, she said, I have never heard of the band played quite that well, and that new gumbo, absolutely delicious. I'll see you tomorrow, sweetheart. After Princess Fiona walked her family to the door, she went back to the dining room to finish cleaning up. A few minutes later, Louise and the band went to the kitchen for their evening meal. As they walked in, Stella began to bark. Grrr! Woof! She was terrified of the giant alligator. Oh, now hold on, little dog. Louise spoke to Stella. I'm not here to eat you. I just wanted a taste of the chef's new gumbo. But Stella was frightened. She kept barking. The kitchen staff and the band members looked at each other. They weren't sure what to do. In the dining room, Tiana and Naveen heard the barking. They rushed to see what was causing the commotion. Tiana recognized the Lamou's pet at once. Stella, what are you doing here? She asked. Don't worry, Louis is our friend. He wouldn't hurt anybody. That's true, Naveen cried, putting his arm around Louis. He is nothing but a big guy with an even bigger heart. The alligator peeked out from behind his tail. He didn't understand why the dog was so upset. Stella looked at him suspiciously. Go ahead, Princess Tiana encouraged the dog. Just go over and make friends. Cautiously, Stella walked toward Louise. The alligator stayed very still. He didn't want to frighten the dog all over again. See? Nothing to be scared about, Naveen said. Soon, Stella realized Louise was harmless. The dog wagged her tail. Then she smelled some delicious chicken. Tiana smiled. Let's get dinner for you all. The princess and the kitchen staff quickly put together a supper out of the evening's leftovers. Everyone went into the dining room. The staff ate while Princess Naveen played the ukulele. Louis picked up his trumpet and joined in the song. Some of the waiters and waitresses began to dance. Stella didn't pay much attention, though. She was eating some of Tiana's beignets. A while later, the staff headed home. Tomorrow would be another busy day at Tiana's palace. Come along, Stella, Tiana told the dog. Time for you to go too. The prince and princess brought Stella to Charlotte's house. No one had noticed she was missing yet. Good night, Stella, Princess Tiana said, giving the dog a big hug. Now that you know how much fun we have at the restaurant, you should come by more often. Woof, woof, Stella barked. She hadn't expected to have such an adventure that night. She knew she'd return to Tiana's palace the next chance she got. The end.
So that was the end of the final story that Dijonae did. And of course, mega welcome to all the wonderful persons that are in the chat. We're happy to have you all. So of course we have a lot of content creators that stopped by. We want to say thank you so very much for the thumbs up. We want to say thank you for the share. We want to say thank you overall for stopping by and for even saying hello. And for all the persons that will come on this replay, this is Dijonae Jàyñae Gordon.
Educational channel.
And of course, we're saying mega welcome to you as well. All right. So, of course, we have in the chat with us, we have Mystic Sensation. Mega welcome to you, Mr. and Mrs. Mystic. We're happy to have you with us.
Yes.
We also have Philip. We also have
Keisha K.
mega welcome to you, Keisha K. And of course, we also have Savoy.
Yes.
We also have the Dynamic Lady Girls. And of course, we also have Miss Lala.
Lala.
Your girl Lala. Thank you so very much for coming with.
We also have Mystic Sensation.
Yes, we did say Mystic Sensation. And for all the other persons that came by, and for the persons who are in the back looking on the inside, we're happy to have you. So, yeah, we're so happy to have you. Thank you so very much for coming. And of course, as we always say, every good thing must come to an end. And as we always say, we're going to love you, we're going to leave you. Remember now, on Dijonae Jàyñae Gordon Educational Channel, we would normally go live on a Tuesday where we would normally do vocabulary building. And on a Wednesday, we would normally do Game Time Live. And not only do we do Game Time Live, we do
Educational Game Time Live. And we make it fun for everybody. On a Thursday is where we would do Maths Away, where we would do Maths with Mommy. And on a Friday, back to this, we would do Read Aloud Friday. And that is a day where everybody gets to come on screen and read their story.
Alright, so guys, we're so happy to have you all. So until next time, until next week, remember at 6:30, until next time next week, we want to say we love you. Thank you so very much. And we always say, walk good. Bye, bye, bye. Alright, see you.
Bye.
And I think Mystic Sensation is going live shortly. So we'll see you there, okay? So bye, bye, bye.